that she was gonna let me come. She told her she was gonna let me come and stay. Then she hit my mama back. She was like, hold on. And she was like, no, let me think about it. Let me tell you something about the Most High. The lady hit my mama back the next morning. I'm not even knowing what's going on. The lady hit my mama and say, I don't know what's going on, what your son trying to do. Tell him he need to get to my house right now. And my mom was like, what happened? She was like, what's going on? She said, I went to sleep last night. I had a dream. She said, and in the dream, I heard the voice of the Most High. This is a true story right here. She said, I heard the voice of the Most High say, let him come and house him and feed him 3 times. She said, I heard it 3 times. They said, house him and feed him, house him and feed him, house him and feed him. She said, when I woke up, no hesitation. She said, she said, I'm calling you. She said, you tell that boy to get to my house right now. I get to her house. When my mama called and tell me that, I take all my stuff over here. This lady, I have never met her, never talked to her, never seen her a day in my life. Didn't even know her name at the time. My mama told me her name, I didn't even know how to pronounce it. She gave me her address, I drive to this woman's house. When I drive to this woman's house, the house is huge. She lived in a nice neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? This is something I most definitely wasn't familiar, didn't grow up in. So when I pull up in the driveway, I'm thinking, dang, this is nice. She opened the door, I ring the door, but ding, ding. She come open the door. She come on in, baby. She give me a hug off the top. Then, you know what I'm saying, like our elders do, she was like, you probably don't know me. She started explaining to me how we related. Instantly, she started showing me pictures. I'm looking around the house. This is nice. This is nice. Then we walked downstairs. When we walked downstairs, she said, all this is you. You know what I'm saying? She was like, you ain't got to, she was like, you just pay me $100 a week. I got 3 more weeks. She don't want nothing but $100. That's going to keep some money in my pocket. Thank the Most High for that. It's got a pool table down here. I got my own shower. She gave me the washroom. Got my own bed. I basically got my own section down here, downstairs. So when all that happened, I was like, man, this is a blessing. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't do good at the mall. Out of them 500 books, I probably only sold 200. At this point, now that I moved in with her, I'm hoping I get off on these books. I'm gonna give her her money back, pay the girl back. Then not only that, I'm gonna come back, give me a car, probably give me a little job, get up a little bit, keep doing them all. It didn't go the way that I wanted it to go. So when I came back home, I'm kind of stressed out at this point. Because at this point, I probably been home probably about 8-9 months, maybe almost a year at this point. I'm stressed out at this point because I've been pushing and pushing and pushing. I started traveling after I got back from Atlanta. I went to Houston. I'm gonna show you some pictures. I went to Peoria, Illinois, and then after that I went to Chicago. I'm doing all of this stuff. I'm doing all of this speaking. I'm doing everything that I felt that I should be doing when it came to my purpose. You know what I'm saying? And it just didn't seem like I was ever catching a break. All of these people who were calling my phone based on views, likes, and all of this stuff, them folks, listen to me. Let me tell you something about social media, man. Don't ever get caught up in the views, the likes, the subscribers, none of that stuff. That stuff don't mean nothing. That is a psychological game. It is a lot of people out here with a huge following, getting millions of views, all these likes and comments, and these folks don't have nothing. Social media has tricked them into believing that they are successful based on the views and stuff, because people are more obsessed with status and popularity more than generational wealth and taking care of their family. And what I realized real quick on, people were inviting me places to come and speak and did not want to pay what I was worth. They wanted me to come so they could put me on the flyer and say, dude is coming, and that was going to bring people to their event that was going to line their pockets, not mine. And people feel like it's too many people teaching when you in the vein of the Most High that you're supposed to do everything for free. Listen to me. The cow is entitled to the milk. It's no way I do all of this work and you tell me I don't supposed to eat from it. So by the time I'm going all these places, I'm paying my own money, I'm paying my own hotel, I'm doing all of this stuff, and I'm just like, oh, something is not right. Something is not right with what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. Or maybe I just ain't reached that point. I don't know what it is, but I stay humble all the time. But then it was one day, I'm sitting here and I'm realizing, you know what I'm saying, I'm dropping pig and cuz. We in a relationship, don't nobody know we're in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? The kids know we're in a relationship, but they don't know we're in a relationship. They know we sleeping in the bed together, but at the same time, they know we walking around here calling each other cuz. They calling me cuz. There's a bunch of confusion going on in the house. My daughter even come around there and then. My cousin, you know, she hears us calling each other cuz. My daughter has absolutely no idea what's going on. But while all this is going on, you know what I'm saying, her kid's daddy really wasn't worth recording number one of them, the baby girl. You know what I'm saying? They family, they was decent. You know what I'm saying? They helped take care of the little girl or whatever. But all the other ones, it was horrible. So at this point, funds is getting low. Because I'm trying to help take care of everything. You know what I'm saying? She doing whatever she can do. Things started getting, you know what I'm saying, a little sideways. And guess what popped up in my head? My homeboy. This is the point where people who come out of prison, you either stand 10 toes down or you fold. At this point, I feel like I stood 8 toes down. I didn't fold completely. I said in my head, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna see what's up with this, I'm gonna do this, you know what I'm saying, and then I'm gonna get up, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna get out of the way. Because at this point, because you done been in jail and prison, most people say, oh, you reform. Some people actually just get smarter at doing what it is that they do, or they do something different. It does not mean that they were completely reformed. Because some people, you can go to the penitentiary and realize I need to move different because I don't want to go back to jail. It does not. And people who watching you, they think you reform. No, you got smarter at what you're doing. So at this point, I feel that if I chose to jump in there, I'll just move smarter than what and then not only that, you got to keep in mind, I had a platform for ministry. My face was known for doing stuff when it came to claiming, you know what I'm saying, the Most High and what I believe in. So of course I gotta move a certain type of way. So I end up calling my homeboy, he don't hesitate. He said, man, come see me. He tell me where to meet him at. I meet him at this grocery store. When we go in the grocery store, I call because I don't see him. He tell me what aisle he in. When I come through the aisle, he got a couple of things, you know what I'm saying, in one of his hands. You know what I'm saying? So when I walk up to him, boom, he's shaking my hand. Soon as he's shaking my hand, he puts something in my hand instantly. He can put that in your pocket. I don't even look at it. So instantly, boom, I put it in my pocket. I don't even know what it is. And then he tell me, he said, man, look, check this out. He said, man, you don't owe me nothing for that. He said, man, just do your thing, you know what I'm saying, take care of your business, whatever, you know what I'm saying, come spend that with me. I'm like, yeah, what's up? He said, don't give him. He was like, man, that's probably worth $1,000. I'm like, that what's up? He was like, you have any issues, you know what I'm saying, just let me know, you know what I'm saying, hit me up, you know what I'm saying, I'll get you something else. So I leave. When I get it, we finish our little conversation, I get in the car, when we pull out, I reach in my pocket and I pull it out. It's their dog. This their dog. You know what I'm saying? This hey, normally what I done dealt with, I've only dealt with this one time and that was in the penitentiary. The only time I dealt with it in the penitentiary because one of the brothers was giving me a deal. Come to find out he was playing with the money and I almost had to put my hands on dude. So I was like, man, I ain't even never dealt with this. So I had to hit him up. He had to call me from whatever he called me from. He called me back on another phone, I don't know what it was. And he explained to me, you know what I'm saying? But that's when I started getting off. When I started getting off, I was conflicted. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I'm realizing the condition of the people who I'm giving it to. I'm already realizing their condition and what I'm doing. And I've already stepped into a whole different world. Let me tell you why I did step into a whole different world. Because I done changed my name. Everybody that I'm dealing with, I'm in a different city, Gallatin, Tennessee. I'm not in Springfield. Don't nobody in Springfield know that I'm even dealing with it. Don't nobody know that I'm hustling. Don't nobody in this city know me. Everybody that I met that was doing it, I got them folk calling me John. So I started working there. I was working at this job. I'm driving a tow motor. And as I'm driving a tow motor, you know what I'm saying, I ran into some people that I felt looked like, you know what I'm saying, they get out. So I hit them, you know what I'm saying, hey, what's up? I started networking. At this point, the enemy was tricking me so good because I felt like I was hiding so well. I got these people calling me John. They don't know where I live. Don't nobody know back home that I'm dealing with this. I'm getting my paycheck. And I'm getting off. I'm talking about I'm getting off. So I'm back gas, but I ain't going and buying a bunch of stuff. This was the first time I got up like $10,000 in like 3 or 4 weeks. Once I sit down and I counted 10 grand, I ain't had 10 grand since I've been home. I'm counting $10,000 cash. Listen, and the job I was at, I was making almost $20 an hour. So I'm bringing home almost a band. You know what I'm saying? Every week. Not only I'm bringing home that band, I'm getting over. I'm $10,000. At this point, oh yeah, we trapping. Oh yeah, we trapping. The kids, everybody straight, they birthday, they 500 a piece. You know what I'm saying? We doing whatever we want to do. We started traveling. You know what I'm saying? I started feeling like this was the first time I had some opportunity to kind of breathe. I didn't feel no pressure, not only as a man, but as a black man. I felt like a weight had been lifted off because even though I'm dealing with my cousin at the time, I felt like I was able to do some things as a man. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, I was kind of gassed up. But I remember I went to go see him one day. And when I was coming back, you know what I'm saying? I got a little clientele. I'm beast mode. I got some clientele. On my way back, I prayed and asked the Most High. I said, you're gonna have to remove this because I'm so deep in, I'm not gonna do it myself. That day when I'm coming back, it's a police officer from a distance. I could see him, I had already slowed down. He flagged me down. I got a 4.5 dog on me. When he pulled over, it's in my pocket. I didn't feel like I was finna get a ticket or get searched. I got a license and insurance at the time. So when he pulled me over, he was like, oh, I just wanted to let you know this right here. They've been reporting this right here, and people that they want, you know, whatever it was a school zone, they wanted people to slow down coming through. He let me go. When I pulled off, my heart was racing because at that point, had he said step out of the car, I wouldn't be talking to you right now. If I was, I'd be talking to you from a cell, making TikToks in my cell, like you see all these other people. He let me go. I got 3 main people that I'm dealing with. One of them was her kid, the cousin I'm dealing with, her kid's daddy. The only reason I started dealing with him because he was always complaining about how he wasn't doing nothing for his kid. So I told her, look, hit him up, tell him you got a route, and made it look like he was going through her and basically getting on. She was fronting him through somebody she knew, which he knew it was me. He started playing with the money. He started getting high. But he was already getting high anyway. So then after that, it was another dude I'm dealing with. He coming to see me every 2-3 days. He spending $2,500, you know what I'm saying, 35. He on it. Then I had another dude I was serving, you know what I'm saying, well. Let me tell you something. Dude started playing with the money, her baby dad. He started playing with the money. The dude that was bringing me $2,500 every other week, every other day, this man literally disappeared. I've been dealing with this man for about 4-5 months. He just, out of the blue, I don't know where this man went. The other dude, he started playing with the money too. It got so crazy. Then I ended up getting a phone call. I ended up getting a phone call from a dude about $2,500. It was his number. I pick up the phone. It's his auntie. His auntie was like, hey, I don't know what's going on between you and such, but I just wanted to call and see if it was going to be a problem because I knew he owed you some money. He told me what was going on and this and that. But they had found me on social media. I had popped up on his feed. This point, I'm traveling, I'm doing ministry, I'm going to churches, I'm speaking, I'm doing stuff with my books. What they saw me quoting the word. So when she seen that, she felt like she could call me. She felt like she had one over my head. She felt like, oh, we can call him, he gonna squash the deck because he ain't gonna want to be exposed. So when she called, I was like, oh, no, there ain't no problem, this is that. He ended up getting on the phone with me, telling me what his auntie had going on and this and that, and he was like, bro, I didn't know who you was. When he's saying that, I knew who I was. I knew who I was to the king. He told me when he seen his videos, the girl that he was dealing with, he said, the first thing I did was I cut that girl out. He said, the second thing, he said, bro, I used to tell my girl all the time, it's something about this dude. He said, I ain't never argued with you. You were never tripping on days I was short. You were never, he was like, and then he said, you didn't get high. He said, I remember asking you, do you get high? Do you mess with it? Because he got high. And he said, I remember you telling me you ain't never done a drug, you didn't drink or nothing. He said, that day, he said, I told my girl, something different about dude. Like, I ain't never met a hustler like him. He said, I knew it was something. He said, but then you popped up on my Facebook feed. He said, when I seen that, bro, he said, I didn't want to do what I did, you know what I'm saying, run off with the money. He said, he said, I did need it. He said, but bro, that did something to me. He said, you inspired me. He said, man, I want to be more like you. To this day, right now, I can show you this man text messages. The man cleaned up, got sober, he got a job, he traveling the world right now, based on him saying, I seen who, I didn't know who you were. When he said he seen that, he changed everything. Matter of fact, I think he just had a baby. I used to stay in contact with him. The man traveling right now, doing what he was doing. He sober, he doing that. I said, man, look at the Most High. Even in the midst of doing stuff that I wasn't even doing, he was still touching people's life. And then the other dude popped back up. He hit me up. He tell me he needs something. When I pull up, I get in the car. His girl turned around and say, hey, I know your name is not John. I was like, what? She was like, your name ain't John. And she said, your name is Joe. I said, yeah. I said, what's up? She said, don't you know I was watching you all night last night? She said, I don't know how, I don't know why. She said, you popped up on my feed. And she was like, you do these inspirational videos. I was like, yeah. She was like, you do these inspirational videos. And she was like, I sit here and I told him, I said, look at this. She said, I just went through your video. And she asked me, she said, what made you do what you doing? I had a couple of moments in the game at the time where when I was doing it, like I had mistreated this one dude one time, you know what I'm saying? Cause he tried to play with, he tried to give me some fake money, you know what I'm saying? Drove off with him in the car, you know what I'm saying? Pulled the strap out on him. Even when all that was going on, I realized how deep I was going. But in them two instances, I realized, you know what I'm saying, the blessing from somebody seeing, you know what I'm saying, what was in me. And even when I was doing that, I realized, I said, man, this ain't what I want to do. So I ended up calling my plug and telling him, I was like, man, you know what I'm saying? It's over with. He was like, what? I said, man, bro, I'm done. Like, I'm finna get back doing what I do with the books and this and that. He respected it, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't tripping. I stopped. I ended up starting back up maybe about 7 or 8 months after that, because everything went on with my cousin. We ended up splitting. I moved back home. And when I moved back home, I was trying to get on my feet, and I ended up calling, which I only did with dad for probably at that time for about 45 days, and I couldn't do it. And I'm gonna tell you why. And I'm gonna end it. I couldn't do it on the strength of, I realized how far I had got away from it. Sometimes when the Most High got you covered and he know what he got going, and when he know what he doing, he might allow you to touch, the enemy think he'll be tricking you. He might allow you to touch that stove again just so you can see how hot it was. I realized I hated being paranoid. I didn't like dealing, I didn't like contributing to the conditions of people and how they already were. I was serving people and at the same time encouraging them and telling them they can do something different with their life. I just wasn't the same person. I didn't even like sleeping. It was hard for me to sleep. Having to hide stuff and doing this and doing that, the way I was moving, I hated it. I didn't like it at all. And then all of that, I came to the conclusion of, I'm just not that person no more. And me not being that person no more, it's okay. I don't have to be that person no more. And then, because I had started dealing, that's how somebody ended up shooting, you know what I'm saying, at the ground around me, which that's a whole nother story. Which that was another reason. That was the second time I jumped in when I was getting ready to pull out and be done. And I'll tell y'all that story too. But I looked at the picture and I was like, all of this is really saying, you've been called to be who you are, regardless. And there's no way around it. You can try to run all you want, hide all you want. When it all boils down to it, the Most High gonna get what it is he want out of you. Because the minute you say yes to him, his will is gonna go forth. Trials and tribulations gonna take place. That's a part of the testimony. People get so confused that they get scared and they're worried about people being judgmental. Falls are a part of the journey. Listen, if you've been watching me, you know I don't have nothing to hide. Ain't no shame. Listen to me. I don't feel embarrassed. It ain't nothing nobody can say in my comment section to make me feel no type of way. Because at the end of the day, I'm free. Everything that I've been through, everything that I've done, all the experiences, they have made me who I am today. That I have learned, I bump my head, learn, boom, boom, get back up on my feet, and I keep it moving. People say what they want to say to me, but at the same time, they won't bear their soul to the world as I have. But what I'm telling you is, even in the midst of that, I watched him continue to cover me and bless me. And now we looking at, since I've been free and not doing nothing, it's been a year and a half. Here we are. Well, that's how I started back hustling, man. Hey, y'all be blessed. Y'all hold it down.